My role, what is a climate emergency officer? So it has two kind of key functions, I suppose. The first one is to work across all of what the council does to decarbonise things like our estate, our fleet. But the other massive part of my job is to work with the rest of Torbay, so with organisations, residents, businesses, to help all of them to start to reduce their emissions, and all of us can play a part in tackling climate change, and that's really my job, is trying to help everyone to do a little bit more. Yeah, so construction has a huge opportunity, a huge potential role to play in helping the UK to become net zero. Massive opportunities around how they can start to decarbonise both the design of buildings, of infrastructure, but also looking at the type of materials that we use to build buildings, infrastructure, trying to get those materials to be as low in carbon as possible. And they also have a massive role in then the operation of the buildings. So again, this links back to the design. But if we can design buildings that don't need a lot of energy, that can create their own energy, etc., it's also a massive part that the construction industry can play in making that happen. Yeah, so locally we have a number of challenges. Really simple way of thinking about it is that we can break down where our emissions come from in Torbay into kind of three key parts. One is our homes and our buildings, one is our transport, and then one is our businesses. And for Torbay in particular, we have quite a large amount of our carbon comes from our homes and our buildings. So that's a key challenge for us. How do we help our residents? How do we help build, buildings like where we are today in South Devon College? How do we start to get those emissions down, particularly from the housing sector? And again, the construction sector has a huge role to play in that, and loads of opportunities for young people. It's an emerging area, and again, Torbay is committed to being carbon neutral by 2030, so even quicker than what we're nationally doing. So we know there'll be lots of new jobs in things like loft and cavity wall installation, but also in some really exciting stuff like heat pump installations and installing renewable energy, those kind of really exciting things, electric vehicles, all of that. So huge opportunities, but those challenges still remain, and how do we help our residents, businesses, etc., to start to reduce those emissions? Yeah, lots of skills will be needed, and actually, what's really exciting is it's lots of different skills. Some of the skills might just be upskilling existing workforce, but some are brand new. So, when we think about things like loft cavity wall installation, these are really important things to make our homes nice and warm and using less energy. But there's some really exciting new skill sets. So heat pumps. So at the moment we use gas boilers. In the future, our homes will probably be fueled by these heat pumps. Now, heat pumps use electricity, so it's a whole new different set of technology, moving away from gas into electricity side of things. And things like solar panels, those kind of things, huge areas, again, based on, moving away from the gas into the electricity side of things. So lots of skills around that, I think, in the future, and also electric vehicles. So whilst we have lots of mechanics, let's try and upskill some of those mechanics to be able to look after the electric vehicles that we know are coming very quickly to Torbay and everywhere else. So I guess it's things like heat pump installers would be an obvious one. I think there's a lot of opportunities in low carbon heating, not only the heat pumps, but looking at things like infrared heating, loads of really exciting new developments around how we kind of heat our homes through electricity. And I also do think we are seeing an increase in renewable energy, so again, a massive area there. But also on the construction side, we need to understand how much carbon the construction industry is responsible for, and we're not very good at that at the moment. So there's some really exciting opportunities around understanding how much carbon we create when we are constructing buildings. So it's a massive area that at the moment I think isn't got the amount of people that we need in there, and it's how do we quantify this carbon emission so that then we can build better low emission buildings, etc. Well, I know that the college, in terms of what the college has been doing, you guys have got a really strong sustainability policy. I know that you guys have also embedded the Sustainable Development Goals, which is a really important UN initiative. And yes, I'm aware that you guys are starting to look at how you use energy and generate your own energy, which is really great. The council is doing very similar, so we're looking at heat pumps, we're looking at renewable energy on our roofs, those kind of things, and electric vehicles, and plugging them all in. So yeah. we're all trying to do exactly the same as what the college are doing, but I think you guys have won some awards as well, is that right? No, you guys have been some sustainability awards, which is fantastic.